Eniso. Oh, it's fabulous! A strike to get you up off your seats.
Hello and welcome to Seagulls Social. This is the Brighton versus Southampton preview. Big game on Friday night under the lights at the Amex. And of course, as always, I'm joined by Ben in his Texas cap that people have noticed he's not stopped wearing. So, Ben, how are you today?
I just need to remind people that I've been to America, mate. I think that's the... I'm living off that unbelievable week we shared together, Maz.
Yeah, that was
forgive
nice.
me for having a memoir, bit of memorabilia.
No, I like it. But yeah, Ben, I am back. I was in Bruges, so sorry for everyone who missed me for the Bournemouth preview. I was not there. Sorry for the
Jack,
review.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, they had Jack and Ben doing their usual antics. But I did witness Club Bruges beating Saint-Tropez 7-0, which was pretty amazing.
Oh, the accent, Maz. Do that again.
Saint-Tropez. There you go.
Saint-Tropez.
That's how you say it. But yeah, they got battered 7-0. So yeah, great weekend I went with the boys. And I went with Ben's brother, for anyone who doesn't know. Big up Sam. He was MVP of the weekend, being his usual self. So
was he?
Yeah, no, great. Yeah, he was living the dream, mate. He loves it. But yeah, so I'm back, ready to go again. And yeah, I missed an unbelievable performance. Yeah, great win away to Bournemouth. And yeah, caught up with the goals. Unbelievable. The front four were just playing fluid football. So yeah, hopefully more of the same on Friday.
When I saw those names on the team sheet, Maz, when we saw those four, like even if it was just Rutter, Welbeck and João Pedro, and then you're forgetting Matoma as well. It's just seeing those three play together for the first time was insane. And obviously the link up for the first goal, like the little flicks and everything, that was incredible. They were dancing on the Bournemouth pitch at Dean's Court or wherever it's called. But yeah, and hopefully we'll be doing the same against another seaside town.
Yeah, João Pedro fuming that they took the piss out of Brighton Beach, and so he was like, "I'm not having it."
They hated that.
Yeah, I don't know why.
We just need the Southampton admin to do the same, don't we?
Yeah. Go again, boys. Go again. But yeah, Ben, Southampton, obviously, they lost 3-2 in their last game against Liverpool. A few contentious decisions as well. A few penalty shouts here and there. But yeah, they looked like they were going to win, and then Liverpool turned it round. Also, a few stats that I've said to you off camera, but they haven't won away in the league, which is a big thing. Only in the EFL that they've won. They haven't won a league game.
Dr. Brighton is pending.
Dr. Brighton. I was waiting for you to say that.
They've got an appointment with Dr. Brighton on Friday night.
Well, no, listen, the way we're playing, we're going into this game like full of confidence. Like you mentioned, the front four. And that's without the players like Gruder, Eniso, Ferguson, Adingra. Minter, March. Like, it's insane, the sort of the front four we've got. But yeah, going into Friday night, Ben, how are you feeling? Do you feel like it's going to be a case of Dr. Brighton, or do you feel like we're going to carry on with the great run of form?
No, I'm probably, I'm just joking with the Dr. Brighton thing. But you just never know, which is the Premier League in itself, really. That's the beauty of the Prem. We say it all the time. But I'd be stupid not to be confident thinking that it's a straightforward 3 points. But when I said that against Ipswich, we drew. When I said that against Wolves, we drew. So, this game, also this game, by the way, Maz, if we win this, we go second, which is insane. We'll be going second into Saturday. I can't remember who City have got. City have got Liverpool on Sunday. Am I correct?
Yep.
So, there's potential. If Arsenal drop points, Chelsea drop points, there's a chance that we could be second place come Sunday
evening,
there's a
which
chance?
Would
be insane. They're telling me there's a chance, yeah. And I'm a chancer, so the little bit of hope we could be second, which would be insane. But yeah, a lot has to happen for that to happen. But that's probably put a lot more pressure and a lot more reason to win. I know there should never be more reason to win than another game, but for the players to know that they go second in the Premier League, and what will that be? Just approaching December, end of November, to be second in the Prem when Hurster took over. If you told me that, I would have been like, "You're fucking joking my ass." But it's gonna happen when we beat Southampton.
Yeah. Well, talking of Southampton, obviously, like I said, they're bottom of the table at the moment. They've not won away in the Premier League this season, and going on for our home form. Obviously, the Wolves game, we let a 2-0 lead go. Nottingham Forest withdrew 2-2. And also Ipswich withdrew 1-1 as well, which are three teams, on paper, you would expect us to beat with their sort of runs forward. Obviously, I know Forest are flying, they're doing really well. I know Wolves are now picking up, so in hindsight, maybe not a bad result. Ipswich, you'd probably be the one that you'd look at and think, right, that was the one that maybe got away. Does that worry you with that sort of, previous results, letting Leeds slip? Or is it now that with that front four being able to penetrate the low block, we saw with the second goal, they were able to penetrate Bournemouth's defence pretty well at times, especially going forward. Does that worry you, or do you feel like now we're starting to learn how to play against certain systems and teams that might come and be a bit more defensive when they play us?
I don't know, I feel like, maybe we should improve defensively. I mean, the holding on against Bournemouth is massive. Like, to play over half an hour because of Baleba got sent off in the 59th minute, which means he obviously won't play against Southampton. Can't rescind it because it was a second yellow. Stupid rule, I know. I feel like our defence is far more solid, which is weird to say when Dunk's been injured. And Dunk hasn't
Eagles
been part
been
of
incredible.
It. Eagles been incredible. Van Heck's been insane. So I just think the defence looks more solid. And then, Weaver came on against Bournemouth and looked also very solid. So and he was one of the guys that really let us down, unfortunately, in that Wolves match. So he's come on leaps and bounds. He's improved quite a lot in the time that's been since Wolves. It's been like maybe over a month now. And he hasn't got too many minutes since then, but he's got over a pretty horrendous mistake. He got a lot of shit online, and he looked great against Bournemouth. So if he's improving, our defence has improved incredibly because, under Hersler at the beginning, we were saying attack's good, but the defence looks all over the place. But now, we look very solid and looks like hopefully we've got past that period of letting easy goals slip, really.
We're talking of Baleba being absent, and you just mentioned Weaver. Is Weaver the guy for you to stand in against Southampton?
I wouldn't be surprised if he does. I'm trying to, saying that though, would Matt O'Reilly and Ayari be a good mix in the midfield? Do you start Matt O'Reilly?
My only thing with O'Reilly, I feel like O'Reilly's a little bit more attack-minded than a Baleba, for example. Whereas Baleba offers you that box-to-box, that protection of the defence, whereas maybe O'Reilly's a bit more advanced, a bit more attacking threat, rather than a Baleba who's a bit more protective. And I feel like Weaver does give you that. He'll sit in the middle of the park. He'll, make those passes. Whereas, I'm not sure O'Reilly's that sort of like for like. But we don't have a like for like. Baleba, I feel like, is a very...
If I had to put a bet on it, though, we don't. That's the thing. We don't really have that midfield. That's one of the weird tactics we've got. But if I had to put money on it, I'd probably I'd back Ayari and Weaver starting in that midfield. Really. I should know a little bit more about Southampton, but who's their centre midfield? I'm trying to think. I watched the Liverpool Southampton game. I was working, but I can't remember who their midfield was. I know Jerry Revo came on, but I don't know if he's a centre midfielder.
Well, Lallana started, got injured, obviously. Shock horror. He got injured in the 37th minute. But it was him and Downs. Flynn Downs was the centre midfield partnership.
Oh, Flynn Downs was playing centre back, I'm pretty sure. Russell Martin was playing him centre back, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think so. Oh, okay. It was really weird.
Was it that Anachu and Iniachu? Was he playing up top?
No, he's a striker.
Anyway, I'm looking at Flash Score. It looks like Anachu and Armstrong. Who knows? But I did notice though they have played a back five before as well, so that could be interesting if they set up with a back five, or if they play and also Fraser played left back, I believe. Or left wing back. I don't know how they set up, to be honest. But that's interesting to see who's going to line up, how they're going to line up. Because if they're going to go with a five at the back and just set up basically for a draw, that could be interesting to see how we then have to penetrate their defence. But talking to Southampton's team, Ben, I'm looking at that.
He does like to experiment though, Russell Martin, obviously, as a fellow Brighton, as a fellow Brightonian, and obviously we were linked with him as a manager as well, but. Yeah, when I saw the lineup, I'm pretty certain he put Flynn Downs at centre back. Then it was Flynn Downs that actually gave the ball away to Szoboszlai, who scored. But their fans were getting on top of them when they were losing the ball quite often. It looked, we've been through that where we've been trying to adapt this new style of play, although they obviously had it for well over a year now, well over a season. But when you get the mistakes and the goalkeeper passes it the wrong way, puts it out of play, or a player puts a pass astray, the fans were getting on them. And we've been there, so hopefully if we can press well, which we do have a fantastic pressing team, if Minter's back, that'll be great. I don't know if he is. We could cause them some trouble, put them under a lot of pressure at the back, and then force a few mistakes and get some goals from it.
No, definitely. And I think, yeah, there's a lot of opportunity. I think McCarthy had a good game for them as well. Obviously, he saved quite a few. I know they ended up losing 3-2, but he put in a few saves as well. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see which players, sorry. I'm a big fan of Diblin. I'll tell you what, I think he's 19. He's looked really lively for them. He's sort of been one of their shining lights, I think. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think he plays for the under-21s as well. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see that sort of their stuff. Adam Armstrong is pretty decent as well. They've got Howard Bellis, a recently England international. But I think there's definitely some holes in that lineup. You know, Jack Stevens, I don't really rate, to be honest with you. I think Lallana is obviously injury prone, as we've seen. Whether he starts against us will be interesting. I don't think they have that much firepower off the bench. I know they had Cameron Archer come on, Joel Aribo, but I just don't know if they've got the squad to compete. Unfortunately for them,
who got their second goal? Was it like Fernandez or something like that?
Yeah, Fernandez.
He looked like a fairly decent player. He looked like a fairly good player.
So I think they've definitely got players that can hurt us. It's just at the moment the run of form that they're in. It'll be interesting to see if they can do that, especially at the Amex with it. Like we said, our attacking quartet. It's going to be really interesting. But yeah, for me, the players sort of maybe to look out for, would be Fernandez, Dibbling. And Armstrong as well. You never know. He's pretty handy in the box as well. So yeah, it'll be interesting.
Fraser's always caused us problems in the past as well in his Bournemouth days. So who knows? So maybe he's going to bring it back. I'm pretty sure when we got battered 5-0, he definitely got on the end of one of them. That was a horrendous day at the Amex. So he's probably had good memories of the Amex, Fraser. But I think that Bournemouth team is far greater than the Southampton team we're going to face on Friday.
No, 100%. And also talking of that defence as well, we're anticipating Van Hecker and Igor to be the same centre-back pairing. I think Dunkey's been training individually. From what I've read online, he's been training on his own, so he's not actually been training with the squad yet. So I don't anticipate he'll come in for this game. But
he's being exiled. Right? He's going to get released in Jan. No way.
He's over the hill, mate. He's 33. He's over the hill. He's finished.
You're out, Dunkey. Crawley, I think Crawley need a centre back, mate.
Oh mate, we won't talk about Crawley. They've been in the news actually. They had a big mess up with File, their striker. Apparently they didn't register him properly, and it was all a bit of a hoo-ha. But yeah, anyway, we're not here to talk about Crawley. So, but yeah, so defensively it looks like it's going to be the same sort of back four. We're going to have centre backs Stephanie Van Hecker and Igor, which I'm really happy about. I think they've been really, really solid. And then the only, I suppose, position potentially up for debate is maybe the wingers, which is, if you said, if Minter comes in, but I anticipate it being unchanged. I can't see him maybe making too many changes, but of course the only one Baleba is being the forced change. And like you said, will it be Weaver? Will it be someone else? Will it be O'Reilly? It'll be interesting to see that. But talking of
someone we think it won't be. I was going to say someone we think it won't be is probably Eniso, because you're saying we're filming this on Tuesday night, right? This is Tuesday today.
Yeah.
And he's playing for the under-21s at the moment. I mean, I guess that's enough time to recover for Friday, but realistically, we're probably going to talk about the loans in a bit. A few bits of news has happened since the recording of the Bournemouth one with Jack. And Eniso potentially getting loaned with an option to buy to Porto, as reported. Evan Ferguson's been listed there, but maybe Fergie's been getting more minutes than Eniso, to my memory. But yeah, what the hell is happening with Eniso? I don't know. Yeah. Does Herzl not like him?
Well, he scored in the international game, didn't he, for Paraguay? And then in the international break. And then, now he's playing for the under-21s in the International Cup against Anderlecht. So, do you know what? I think it's a good thing. I think getting minutes is key for him. I think getting, he's moaned about not getting enough minutes. So here you go. They're your minutes. But I know it's probably not what he wants. He wants, obviously, Premier League minutes. But
different minutes.
But I think it's good for him. I think, especially if you can put a good performance in, maybe get a goal, then you put yourself in the mix and you're like, look, I proved to you at the under-21s. I've got it. And also, do you know what? From a sort of mental perspective as well, maybe it's a bit of a humbling thing for him as well, because at times it does come across that he might be a bit too big time, a little bit like he feels like his right is to start and he should just be in the team by virtue of what he's done in the past. And maybe this could be a nice little humbler for him and being like, look, if you're not going to get games at senior level, we're going to put you on under the 21s. If you perform there, then you might be in for a shout. So Yeah, I don't think it's all bad. I think it's good for him to get
Spending
minutes.
spending far too much time in Meds Barbers, isn't he? He's had more minutes in Meds Barbers than he has at the Amex this season, I think.
Yeah, most probably, to be fair. But no, I don't think it's a bad thing. And what I was going to say as well, earlier, the last time Brighton played Southampton at the Amex, we won 3-1, and Ferguson got a brace in that game. And it's really interesting to see the journey he's had since then, isn't it? Because he's obviously got injured since, and he was being touted with £100 million moves. You know, he's being linked with some big clubs. And now he's not played as much because obviously Welbeck's been in such great form. You've got obviously Rutter playing really well, João Pedro playing really well. He's really struggled to get into that starting 11. And so he's been linked with, apparently he's been confirmed that he's going to go out in January on loan, which is interesting. First of all, on that, Ben, do you feel like that's the right thing to put him out on loan? And secondly, my second point is, do you feel like with Welbeck's injury record, could that potentially be a hazardous move, letting Ferguson go out on loan?
Ooh, it's interesting, that, isn't it? It's a tough one because, I mean, loan moves for some reason have such like a, I don't know what the word is, but people think like Facundo went on loan, that's the end of his career at Brighton, but it's not like that. I think a lot of loans have seemed like quite negative moves and like the career's over at the club. But for us right now, we're in this mental position where we've got too much talent, so we do need to loan them out to give him game time to make sure they're still developed. So Evan Ferguson falls under that. He doesn't fall under the fact that his career's stalled potentially and that he's lost it. I think that's completely ridiculous if anyone does think that. There's still definitely a player there.
Mate, he's 20 years old.
Definitely just a development loan. Yeah, and we've seen how good he can be, and I've no doubt that he will get back to that. I mean, he scored recently again for us, which was massive for him. But yeah, I don't know. I'll go into your question about the Welbeck situation. I know Welbeck's been riding a good wave at the moment, not getting injured. So I don't know. I doubt we have plans to get another striker in because that would be insane. I know we did try to get that Conrad Hamer from, maybe it was from Mulder, but then he went to Sporting. I think he was called Conrad, wasn't he? Which was weird because, like, imagine if we did sign him, are we still signing Rutter and João Pedro, and then we would have had all five of those: Ferguson, Welbeck, Hamer, João Pedro, and Rutter. It would have been too many minutes to manage unless Hamer then went out on loan somewhere. I don't know, but. Maybe in the back of their heads, maybe in Bloom's head, that he does want to get another number 9. And maybe he doesn't see Ferguson being that person right now because the way Welbeck's been moving with Rutter and João Pedro, I just can't see Ferguson doing that and these fancy flicks in the link-up play. I just don't think Ferguson has that in his locker. So the profile of striker of Danny Welbeck, for some reason, is just phenomenal in our team at the moment.
It suits his system at the moment, doesn't it?
Maybe we'll be looking for that. Yeah, absolutely. And it's for some reason Welbeck looks younger than Evan Ferguson when he's on the pitch, which is mad to say. But yeah, the youthfulness of João Pedro and Rutter's making Danny Welbeck look like a really youthful young player with all the flicks he does. So I don't know. Maybe there's a small chance that Ferguson's time at Brighton might be over and we might cash in on him in the summer if he has a good loan move. But it'd be sad to see him go because he's such a good talent. But maybe it just doesn't suit our style of play at the moment.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think we all know how good Ferguson is. His potential's, sky high. He's one of the best young talented strikers in the Premier League. We all know how good he can be, but I just think he does need that loan move, in my opinion. But at the same time, I think with Welbeck's injury record, if he does get injured, even for a couple of weeks or a month, that's huge because then that month could derail the rest of the season potentially if we have a bad run of games. So yeah. A big part of me wants him to stay because of potential injuries, and really, Welbeck's our only out-and-out striker. Well, him and Ferguson are only out-and-out strikers. I know João Pedro and Rutter can fill those spaces, and maybe it's not as important, but I do feel like I'm very split. I would like Ferguson to stay just to have that cover, but at the same time, I think it will benefit him massively to go out on loan, hopefully hit the ground running like Bonanotte, like you mentioned, and get back to his best, and then going into next season, hopefully we're in Europe. Fingers crossed, that'll be huge. Having the amount of talent available going into a European campaign, having so many options will be huge for us. And if everyone's firing all the cylinders, it's going to be a great headache for Herzl to have. But yeah, we'll see. It's not confirmed yet. Whether he's going out on loan is still sort of rumoured. There's been reports. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
I do think we're solid in terms of depth if Ferguson does go. Let's say Welbeck does get injured, you can put João Pedro at the 9, put Rutter in the 10, and then that frees up Adingra to potentially play on the right again, or when Solly March is going to have to come back. So maybe that kind of works out in that way. So the João Pedro plays the 9, yeah. So I don't know, that could work. And also, one of my friends flagged it. I don't know if one of the teams that Ferguson's linked with is Leicester. And then in my head, I was like, oh, imagine if Leicester go and get Potter, that'd be mad. Because then potentially Potter would have Ferguson on his books and Facundo on his books at Leicester. Those three linking up again. But, mate, do you know that can you have more than one player from one club on loan? I'm pretty sure you can. But one of my mates said
you can. I'm pretty sure you can. But also, just to let you know, I think Potter's ruled himself out already from the Leicester job.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Now, what is he waiting for, Potter? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, God knows. God knows. But yeah, no. I'll be so honest. I don't know about the team rule. I don't think that it does apply. I think you can have more than one player from a club. But again, anyone in the comments, let us know because we're not 100% sure. But yeah, finally, Ben, let's wrap it up by going back to the Southampton game. What are your predictions? How do you see the game going? And
I think it'll be 3-1 to Brighton, not Southampton, obviously. I don't know if this Onuachu guy is back from injury because he went off injured. I thought like he could have caused us quite a few problems, to be fair. Adam Armstrong.
Yeah, there was a moment he looked like prime Ronaldinho.
But... yeah, mate, Jesus Christ. He was
look passes.
Yeah, he was cooking the Liverpool defence at times. And they did, to be fair to them, they did cause Liverpool's defence a few issues. So whether that's because Liverpool's defence were having an off day or when Southampton's attack were having a good day, who knows? But if they play like that, they could cause us some issues. So I can see them getting the goal, but I just think a 3-1 Brighton, I think we'll have way too much for them.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, no, I'm in agreement. I think, fingers crossed, we should win. It's on Sky Sports. Like I said, Friday night at the Amex should be a good atmosphere against a club on the South Coast. It's always nice to have bragging rights as well, like we did against Bournemouth. So it'd be nice to do that again with Southampton. Hopefully they, like you said, they do a tweet and get the boys up for it. And then, I'm going to go with do you know what? I'm going to say they're not going to score. I'm going to go 2-0 Brighton. And I think, it should hopefully be a win that could take us up there and really, really put us in contention, with that European pack and really solidify our position in a statement being like, right, this season we're going for Europe. I think, it's really key that this is run of games now. We've got really, really big run of games now up until Christmas.
I was just about to say.
Yeah, so if we can get this win, I think it'll be huge. We can set up a good run of form. And, fingers crossed we can do it. And we get basically a fully fit squad. And, Herzl will be buzzing, I think, having that selection of players that you can go for and potentially rotating up. That's one thing, actually, finally, Ben. One final thing. I did see a few chat on socials. Some people saying we should rotate for the Southampton game. Bring in some of those players like the Fergusons, the Encisos, the Ndingras, and, giving rest to a few players. But I personally don't agree, but what do you think? Do you feel like it's a game we should?
They don't need rest when they're playing once. They're playing once a week. If we're juggling Europe, then fine. And if we're juggling the Carabao Cup, fine. But we're not, unfortunately, because we got knocked out by Liverpool. So there's no point in rotating. I think we should play our strongest team.
100%.
I mean, let's look at the fixtures. We got quite a big gap between Brighton, Southampton, and then Fulham the following week, which is a Thursday, 5th December, which I will be going to. Cannot wait for that. So they don't need to be rested, in my opinion. I get it. You probably want to give minutes to people, but is that that's probably quite risky in the Premier League. I mean, Southampton, not the strongest team. They're bottom for a reason, but I think you could it could be a bad move to heavily rotate.
I think it's wild this early stage of the season. Fair enough, maybe like February, March, when you've had a lot of games under your belt. Potentially, then start to look at rotating and bringing players in. But I think it's way too early. Like you said, we don't have any other competitions to worry about, and so I think we need to really focus on playing once a week is not that strenuous on a big squad that we've got. So when I saw that chat, I was a bit confused, but some people were saying it, so I had to bring it up. But Ben. Absolute pleasure. I thought it was a really good chat. I thought we discussed some good points there.
Lovely chat.
And lovely chat. But as always, please make sure to like, comment and subscribe. It does really mean a lot to us. And we shall see you for post-match Southampton with hopefully a win.
Yes.
Peace.